If I had to start from zero, no money, no network, no name, and my survival depended on making my first $100,000, I wouldn't chase opportunity right away. I'd start with elimination, cutting out confusion, distractions, and hesitation, because scattered effort, that's the quiet killer of real progress. Let's be honest, most people don't lack potential, they lack direction. They jump between ideas, telling themselves they are figuring things out, but really they're dodging commitment. And without commitment, nothing compounds. So step one is ruthless clarity. One path, one skill, one service, one outcome. Everything else, shut it down. Not because it's wrong, but because divided focus guarantees slow results. Your mind has to lock into one direction long enough to gain traction. That's where speed comes from. Once the path is clear, I'd hunt for the fastest route to value. Not perfection, not innovation, just usefulness. Because money doesn't reward potential, it rewards solved problems. The bigger and more urgent the problem, the faster the money shows up. So I'd ask, what problem are people trying to fix right now? Not someday, right now. I wouldn't wait to be the best, I'd aim to be useful immediately. Because usefulness gets paid, and payment gives feedback. That feedback sharpens skill way faster than endless prep ever could. Action beats theory every time. This is where most people freeze. They think they need to be ready. But readiness, that's a myth. No one starts ready. Readiness is built through real-world reps. So I'd move early, offer my service while improving it. Accept that my first attempts will be messy, because messy action beats perfect imagination. One gets results, the other creates delay. Then comes something people seriously underestimate: visibility. You can be talented, but if no one sees it, it has zero economic value. So I wouldn't stay quiet. I'd show up, communicate, demonstrate, and share consistently. I'd make it impossible to ignore what I can do. Now here's the catch. Visibility is uncomfortable. You'll get judged, ignored, questioned. That's part of the game. The moment you step out publicly, you trade comfort for growth. Most people tap out right here. That's why they never break through. If I'm chasing $100,000, I stay visible, period. Consistency becomes law, not when I feel motivated, but every single day. Because income isn't built on feelings, it's built on repeated output. Repetition builds familiarity, familiarity builds trust, and trust, that turns into money. There will be slow days, days where it feels like nothing is working. Doubt creeps in quietly, and that's where most quit. But that's also where discipline separates the winners. Results are delayed, not denied. Stay consistent, and momentum starts building. Slowly at first, then suddenly. A response here, an opportunity there, and then it clicks. Momentum multiplies everything. Another trap I'd avoid? Complexity. People think they need multiple income streams to win. Wrong. Your first $100,000 comes from focus, not diversification. One offer, one system, one repeatable process executed well. Simplicity scales faster. So I'd build one offer and refine it obsessively. Improve the result, the delivery, the message. Every upgrade increases effectiveness, and effectiveness increases income. That's leverage. Now let's talk time. You don't need more time, you need better focus within the time you already have. Everyone gets the same 24 hours, but results depend on how you use them. Most people waste their best energy on low-value tasks. I'd treat attention like money. Guard it, cut distractions, protect the hours that actually produce results. Because one focused hour can outperform an entire day scattered. Focus is a multiplier. Let me ask you straight. If your life depended on making $100,000 in a year, what would you stop doing immediately? What distractions would suddenly lose power? Urgency reveals truth. Most people don't act because they think they have time, but the second time feels limited, action becomes sharp and immediate. So I'd create urgency on purpose, deadlines, targets, measurable goals, not vague intentions. Because what gets measured gets improved, and what improves gets paid. Execution is what matters, not ideas, not plans, execution. Here's the reality. Your first $100,000 isn't waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's waiting for focused effort, disciplined action, and the courage to start before you feel ready. And the moment you stop searching and start executing, that's when it begins. If I had to start again, completely stripped of money, influence, even reputation, I wouldn't ask what's the opportunity. I'd ask what confusion needs to be eliminated. Because confusion is the real thief. It steals years quietly until one day you realize a decade is gone and nothing meaningful was built. So the first wealth I'd chase wouldn't be money, it would be clarity. People think they're broke because they lack talent, knowledge, or connections. But after watching countless journeys, the real killer is simpler: divided focus. A person chasing 3 paths looks busy, but rarely becomes successful. They mistake movement for progress, activity for growth, variety for success. But scattered effort, it destroys progress silently. If you want your first $100,000, you need to understand, focus isn't optional, it's required. Wealth rewards consistency, not hesitation, not curiosity, not endless what-ifs. So my first move stays the same: eliminate. Cut every plan that doesn't serve the main goal. Cut distractions, cut weak environments, cut anything that drains your prime hours. Even attractive alternatives, because maybe this instead is the enemy of success. Here's the truth. Most people take 20 years to do what could have been done in 5. Not because they lack ability, but because they never fully decide. They keep doors open, they fear missing out. But by refusing to commit, they miss the one thing that matters: momentum. The moment you lock into one path, everything shifts. Your thinking sharpens, your learning becomes targeted, your conversations gain purpose, your time starts to matter, and people begin to see you differently, not as confused, but intentional. And intention builds trust. We've seen it before: people from average backgrounds who suddenly rise fast the moment they stop dividing their energy. Focus shortens the journey. If you want to save years of your life, make one firm decision, one skill, one field, one result. Not because it's the only option, but because your mind needs direction to build force. Clarity creates speed. And when it comes to making your first $100,000, don't start with 100 ideas, start with one question. What useful service can I provide repeatedly that people are already paying for? That word, repeatedly, is everything. Wealth doesn't come from one lucky hit. It comes from consistent value delivered again and again, improved again and again, trusted again and again. So I look at my current skills, not to impress myself, but to evaluate them. What can I do that saves time, increases income, reduces effort, or solves problems? Because money doesn't chase ego, it chases necessity. If I could sell, I'd attach that skill to a product already in demand. If I could organize, I'd fix broken systems. If I could write, I'd tie it to business, not entertainment. Because your first $100,000 isn't hiding in dreams, it's hiding in problems. And here's another myth I'd destroy: the idea that you need to invent something new. You don't. Most first fortunes come from improving what already exists. You don't need to be the best, you need to be useful. Usefulness gets paid, payment gives proof, proof builds confidence, confidence attracts bigger opportunities, and those opportunities multiply income. But none of that starts if you stay stuck in indecision. Indecision wastes years. Meanwhile, less talented people win because they start, improve, and don't quit at the first setback. So if you want to save time, decide fast. Pick your path within 30 days and spend the next year mastering it publicly. That 1 year could replace a decade of wandering. Because the world responds to clarity. When you speak clearly about what you do, people remember. When you show up consistently in one space, they associate you with it. When you improve in that space, they trust you. And trust, that's the currency before money. At the end of the day, fear is the real obstacle. It disguises itself as being careful or needing more time, but it's just fear of commitment, fear of judgment, fear of failure. But here's the trade-off. Avoid commitment and you avoid growth. Choose a path, and yes, you risk criticism, but you gain experience. and experience sharpens you faster than thinking ever will. So no, I wouldn't wait to feel ready. I'd start imperfectly, because 1 year of visible effort beats 5 years of hidden preparation. Perfection in your head makes zero money. Imperfect action builds skill. Skill builds income. And it all starts with one decision. Choose, focus, act. Stay visible, repeat, refine. Because your first $100,000 isn't luck, it's a system. And once you follow it, the path stops being confusing and starts becoming predictable.